Tes. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Tes.
Good morning and welcome to the judges, teachers, guests, and participants of the 11th Fully Residential Schools International Symposium 2023. Now, I'd like to introduce our judges for today. The Chief Judge is Dr. Wan Muhammad Adzim bin Wan Muhammad Zain from Pusat Pengurusan Kecemerlangan dan Inovasi Akademik, University Sultan Zainal Abidin. The second judge is Ms. Raja Mohana, anak perempuan Raja Gopal from College Islam Sultan Alam Shah, Klang, Selangor. The third judge is Mr. Calvin Anak Miking from Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuching Utara. And I, Hanis Najla binti Mohtar from Sekolah Sri Putri, while the timekeepers, Nur Anis Nasrin binti Ahmad Syaiful and Marisa Aisyah binti Muhammad Alamin are from Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Mahmud Terengganu. Now, allow me to read the rules. Each team should consist of presenters and a technical assistant. The presentation must focus on the sub-theme assigned to the team. The duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. The bell will be rung once at the 9th minute and twice at the 10th minute. A question and answer session will be conducted after each presentation. Now, I would like to invite the first team that will be presenting today, which will be Sekolah Menengah Sains DUNGUN, to present.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to honorable judges, precious timekeepers, moderators, teachers, and my fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Iwak Qayyim bin Iwayus Naidi from Sekolah Menengah Sains DUNGUN. We'll be presenting a presentation about Zero Hunger, a Global Challenge, under the sub-theme 1, which is mitigating hunger crisis through food security. Now, let's look what is Zero Hunger. Zero Hunger is one of the aims from United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or UN SDGs, in making sure that everyone has safe, nutritious, and adequate food supply and accessible to everyone. This is in conditions that the well-being of economic, social, and environment is not jeopardized. Now, let's look at the definition itself. The definition of zero hunger is striving to put hunger to an end, and is to achieve an absolute food security, which is which is which correlates with nutritional improvement. Now, this is also in conjunction with promoting a way of sustainable agriculture and food system. Now let's look at a global hunger index for 2022 by severity. If you look at this map, the global hunger index is more prevalent in African region, which explains why these regions has experienced social turmoil and wars. And it explains that these regions experience more insecurity because of the situations that they are facing right now. This index also justifies that the food insecurity is closely related with social and economic well-being. Now, we look at the statistics. Over 700 million people are suffering from hunger. Out of those, over 40 million people are on the brink of famine. Right now, we will look at a statistic article by CNBC. It says that 1 in 7 Americans are currently experiencing food insecurity. This means that even in a country that is relatively wealthy can experience food insecurity. It says that around 38 million people, which involves around 12 million children, are experiencing food insecurity. This is an almost 9 million increase in people that are experiencing food insecurity since 2019. This situation should be addressed by everyone. Now, we will dive more into the issue, which is Food Agriculture and Food Agriculture Organization that said almost 700 million people worldwide are experiencing severe hunger. This makes up to almost 9% of the total global population. And as we can see, this trend has been increasing since 2014. This situation requires an urgent measure to be taken. Malnutrition is also one of the consequences of continuous hunger and food deprivation. Malnutrition is suffered by around 150 million children and subsequently leads to an incomplete growth and impact cognitive development. According to the economic implications, the International Food Policy Research Institute estimates that complications of hunger and malnutrition can result in a loss of up to 11% of a country's GDP, or gross domestic product. This highlights that the impact of food security can have on the economic stability of a country. Now, we will look at the causes of hunger. Causes of hunger includes, first, ailing economy. One of the causes of hunger is ailing economy. Even with the presence of jobs or any security, it will still not make up if if the salary does not make up the cost of the food they need to buy, even the most basic staple. This shows that economic stability is closely related to hunger. Right. Secondly, food waste. It shows that World Food Program has said that over 1 billion tons of food produced is never consumed. This equates to over 1/3 of global food supply every year. Right now, we will look into the importances of zero hunger. First is health improvements. Health improvements involve that disease can be prevented, such as malnutrition, stunted growth, when access to adequate and nutritious food is provided to everyone. And secondly, reduction in poverty. Initiatives can be done by government or non-governmental organizations that help to lift people out of poverty and thus creating a more equal society. And thirdly, the sustainability of environment, which is incentives that promote sustainable agricultural practices. This is in the means of protecting environment and protecting the natural resources. Okay, we will move into how to help to reduce food insecurity. Right now, we can be first a volunteer, which is giving your time at a local food bank or soup kitchen, or else involved in any events or any situations that can raise awareness for food insecurity, in which those contributions from yourself can contribute into reducing food insecurity itself. And secondly, donations can be done by everyone, especially to the non-governmental organizations for trying to work and eliminate food hunger. For example, the World Food Program or Action Against Hunger. Now, we will look at the mechanisms to face food insecurity. First, we will, we will, we will empower small-scale farmers, and we will also educate people, especially children. We will also invest in infrastructure and efficient food supply is given. And the most importantly is the contribution and collaborations between the government and non-governmental organizations. Now we will look at the evidences. University of Chicago stated in 2020 that higher food security status is correlated with a better social stability. This addressed that the root problems of food insecurity reduces at the civil unrest and social turmoil. The Global Food Security Index, meanwhile, in 2021 stated that the regions with better food security scores show a stronger economic growth, which stated that it increases stability in social or politics stability. Now, all about policies. We can see that policies can be implemented, especially by the government, to make sure that food security is more persevered, and it can be implemented by government itself. This will make sure that food security can be achieved and everyone will be given an equal food supply. Right now, we will move into the conclusion, which is what we can see after we can achieve food security. We can see after we achieve food security, everyone will have a better life and will be more productive. And as a consequence, the economy will be more empowered. That is all from me. That wraps up my presentation. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan from SMAN SABAH. My question is, what are the examples of food security policies that are implemented in Malaysia in order to help mitigate hunger crisis in this country? Thank you.
Food security policies that have been implemented by the Malaysian government has been implemented since a very long time. As we can see, a lot of more food security policies are being implemented time by time. Examples can be given, like the government has been doing initiatives, but year by year, to improve food security itself.
Last but not least, the closure itself. So, before we begin, let me introduce you all to our team. So, first one, as you all know, is me, Ari Erwin, carrying the group's presenter role. And next one is Ryan Shami, as you can see right over there. He is our group repertoire. So, now we can start with the introduction on the food security. So, why is food security has been a big or a major issue nowadays? For your information, it has been a big issue among people, particularly in cities. Residents in rural areas have high expectations of urban schools, which drives them to set a specific norm. This will result in higher than usual life expenses at most boarding institutions. Unfortunately, some students are unable to cover the charge due to financial difficulties, resulting in food insecurity among students in urban schools. Although there are school meal programs, they do not have a significant effect on students who suffer the related issues. Therefore, a student's absence due to hunger may have an impact on both their mental and physical well-being. So, what are the goals and objectives that we want to achieve on our research? So, the first one is we want to study the effect of food insecurity towards student attendance. The second one is to identify the solutions of food insecurity among students in urban areas. And the third one is the initiatives that needs to be taken by the responsible parties. So let me continue with the definition or the meaning of food insecurity itself. So what is food insecurity? For information, food insecurity is the condition of not having access to sufficient food or food of adequate quality to meet one's basic needs. Or in other words, people who do not have enough food supply for themselves. So the next one is the methodology that was used in conducting the research. So as we all know, there are specific procedures or techniques used to identify, select, process, and analyze information, but the topic consists of qualitative or quantitative. And the researches conducted by us, we have chosen to adopt the quantitative method instead of the qualitative. So these are the overview of the discussion. And we were able to collect 62 respondents from various boarding schools in Malaysia. There are 5 boarding schools that responded to our questionnaire, to be exact. The first one is the Pandan Science Academy, which had a total of 40 respondents, to be exact. Second one is SMS Utama Majiwa, which only had nearly 2 respondents, but never mind. And we have Emerson Typing, which only have 7 respondents. SMS Kelintan, which had 9 respondents. And last school is SMS Kuala Pasu, only had 4 respondents. And here's an overview of the respondents or the more detailed information about them. So the respondents, there are 51 to 51.6% of the respondents are mostly female, and the other 48.4% are male. And according to the findings, there are 32 female respondents and 30 male respondents in total. And moving on to the statistics, I'm going to hand over to my moderator, Afi Satya.
Yes, the result shows that the majority of students at our 5 chosen boarding schools does not worry about hunger, although there are still minority, some minority of the students still worries about the food hunger.
As you can see, it is concerning that some of the students, the majority of the students, does not have any support systems to help them alleviate the food poverty happening in their school. Because of the food insecurity they were experiencing, the minority of the students skip their lessons, which led to a downfall to their academic performance. As shown in the graph, 50 respondents said that their school's meal options should be improved to match the students' preferences. Therefore, the students would not have to skip their meals. Meanwhile, 24 suggested to increase the meal frequency and 22 decided to increase awareness via campaigns. Other than that, other students show plenty of options, which I think is unnecessary to explain. And I will give you back to Eric.
Thank you. So after acknowledging all the data that we gathered just now, we must also acknowledge the initiatives that needs to be taken by the responsible party. So first one is school. So what should the school authorities do? Well, the schools should make changes to the meals to match student preferences so that students can enjoy eating at school more. And next one is the parents. The parents should also request financial aid to help feed their family, particularly for their children, so that their children won't need to worry about experiencing food insecurity either at school or at home. And next one is the government. In order to prevent food shortage, government could provide more resources, get educational institutions. And last one is initiatives that needs to be taken by students itself is students should keep some pocket money in case they don't have time to eat at the dining hall. So let's say they don't have time to go to the dining hall to eat their typical or basic lunch or dinner. They can still buy food somewhere else because they have spare money. So we have already reached the closure of our discussion. So what we can conclude is that food insecurity does not only affect a student's academic performance, but they can also affect their physical and mental health. And that is not a good issue for students that is learning in school.
Just try to imagine the students living in rural areas, or specifically the ones with P40 communities as their parents' financial background. They have managed to survive all this time, although struggling in school financially. And that is all from us. And this is the references that we use during our research. And that is all for us. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. You can hear me? Well, thank you for the presentation. Okay. I just have one question. Why did you decide to choose residential schools for your project? Yeah, thank
Okay, that is a good question. Thank you. We have decided to choose residential schools as our observation. It often happens at residential schools. Uh, Unlike normal schools, they could get they could easily get food resources outside of school by themselves. But inside of residential schools, it is quite difficult to get food.
just to add, but in a residential school, how many times food is served in the hostels? We have breakfast, lunch. Yeah. Okay. So just a suggestion, probably in the future, you can actually explore the normal day school as well. Okay, because in a normal day school, food won't be served to them. Uh, so probably you can also find out a solution for those schools. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
I have a very quick question. Because you made a very thorough research. Okay. Why you choose why you choose quantitative over qualitative? Okay. Please, yeah.
Um, Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Rain Shami as the group rapporteur for SABAH. For why we chose quantitative over qualitative is that because we decided to use a survey instead of other methods because we have links to other schools and other students. And we decided to know their opinion on whether if they think food insecurity is available at their school. And with their opinion, this slide is how should I, this slide it was made successfully and under the time given.
Just to add, because I'm expecting the time constraint because the normal answer for that is quantitative is much time saving compared to qualitative. Other than I think other than other reasons as well. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered about the despair of the fact they are greeted with an empty plate on the dining table? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, I bid to the honorable judges, the wise moderator, the rapporteur, the accurate timekeeper, dedicated teachers, and all members of the floor. We, SHAH from SMN SABAH, stands here to present our presentation with the title First Life Mega Yield, Cultivating Paddy Fields to Mitigate Hunger Crisis, under the subject Mitigating the Impact of Hunger Crisis through Food Security.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the members of Support Tumungkus. The first one is the person next to me, Hani Farisha, as our first presenter. Next, myself, Jimmy Juitin, as the second presenter and rapporteur. Thirdly, Wan Khaira Wardia, our team leader and moderator. Last but not least, Adli Izer, our team editor and technical assistant. Not to forget to mention our teacher advisor, Madam Amaria Lopez.
To start off, let's learn a bit about our problem statement. SABAH has many opportunities for agricultural activities. However, only less than 1% of land is used for paddy production, and only 27% of the land is used for agriculture. This can surface problems which are how to educate people to utilize land efficiently in order to produce paddy consistently, and how to make sure that the previously unused land is used in improving the agriculture sector.
Now, let us look at our researchers' objectives. First is to spread awareness of the low utilization of land regarding paddy production in Sabah. And second is to unveil the strategies used by farmers or NGOs to achieve food stability through the production of paddy.
Okay. Do you ever wonder about the current situation of paddy production in Sabah? So, let us start with the land situation for agriculture. Did you know that Sabah has a land area of approximately 7 million hectares? Unfortunately, only around 2 million hectares of land is used for agriculture, and only 13% of the land is used for planting rice other than palm oil plantation. From the graph, we can see that the land area used for paddy production does not have any drastic improvements from 2016 and 2020. As we can see, the paddy production rate is unstable and inconsistent. This proves that the current production rate is not future-proof and not convincing. This may cause the paddy production rate to continue increasing in the future. Moving on, our team had conducted a survey to 218 respondents focusing on the paddy situation in Sabah. Referring to the pie chart, it is shown that most locals are aware about the low utilization of land in Sabah, and locals see more imported rice than local rice sold in stores. So, Jimmy, can you explain about the next situation?
Sure, Farisha. Did you know that the poverty rate in Sabah has been increasing due to lands not being utilized? As a result, these lands are used for infrastructure purposes. Therefore, people that heavily relies on the agriculture sector tend to lose their source of income.
Before we move on, let's enjoy the video that we have recorded during our field trip.
Now, let us look at the ways to sustain the paddy production in Sabah through government support, research and development, and application of social media. Marsha, what exactly did our government do?
Well, Jimmy, the government had introduced a project, which is the large-scale smart paddy field project, also known as Smart FPV project. This project aims to boost the paddy production for harvest and to revive the abandoned lands in Sabah. Other than that, a total of 1.8 billion ringgit has been received by the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in order to continue providing subsidies and incentives to the rice industry. The paddy farmers will receive monthly cash contributions of 200 ringgit for a period of 3 months or a season to continue paddy farming. So, Jimmy, what's the next situation? Excuse me, what's the next solution?
Well, Marsha, have you ever heard about Forever Sabah? Forever Sabah is a collaborative social movement which supports Sabah's transition to a diversified, equitable, and circular economy. One of the projects under Forever Sabah is Project Padi, which implements citizen science and uses 2 good practices, which are organic compost and system of rice intensification. Now, Project Padi has 2 phases, Project Padi 1.0 and Project Padi 2.0. This project has created workshops for the local community and aims to dig deeper into the inherited knowledge on paddy plantation and to upgrade traditional methods to a more effective and environmental friendly method. Now, this project was able to produce results such as reviving more than 400 acres of abandoned land and more than 100 families taking part, planted 38 different paddy breeds, and also increasing numbers of paddy production by 126 tons from the first phase to the second phase. Among the good practices used in this project is system of rice intensification, or SRI. SRI implements rice planting using fully organic matter suitable in all types of soil, including less fertile soil, and also reduces water consumption.
We will now move on to our third solution, which is application of social media to spread awareness. Through our research, we can conclude that the best platforms in order to spread awareness are Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. For your information, we had curated social media accounts dedicated to spread awareness on paddy production in Sabah and to post the latest news on rice production. Our Instagram posts were able to reach 552 accounts and many likes.
In brief, more people need to pay high attention to the agriculture sector to ensure food security. We hope that the strategies and methods that have been unveiled will enhance the price for paddy production in Sabah and the rice industry so that everyone can put safe and healthy food on the table. Or in other words, achieve food security and put us one step closer to nearing zero hunger in Sabah. With that, we would like to end our presentation. Onsipo.
Thank you. I am Muhammad Zalhazi bin Kamar Izan Shah, and I would like to ask, what is possibly causing the instability of rice production in Sabah? I am asking this because if you know the answer to this question, we can further overcome the problem. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. So are you asking about the main causes of the low paddy production in Sabah? Okay, so according to our research, the main causes of low paddy production in Sabah is first our research about the low utilization of land. Second is about the climate changes, and third is about when people are more interested to work in cities rather than joining communities to work on paddy crop. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
you mentioned about social media. Other than social media, in what ways youth, Sabahan youth, promote agriculture or food hunger awareness among youth? How do you promote that?
Thank you for that questions. In order to promote this situation in Sabah, we can go for campaigns that are help to government and through NGOs that will support us on the campaign. Other than that, to spread this awareness, we can also suggest the government to rearrange the syllabus so that students or younger generations can learn about agriculture in such a young age. Hope that answers the question. Okay, so before we sit down, we actually bought some souvenirs for the judges, and I hope this. Well, that's all from us. Thank you.
Now, I would like to give some time to the judges to evaluate the presentation just now. Now, without further ado, let's welcome the fourth team for today's session, which is SMAN to MOJOKERTO, Indonesia, to present their presentation for today.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
ST1, we are here.
The Honorable, the judges of FRSIS 2023. In this meeting, we'll present the result of our research about cultivating vegetable hydroponic as an alternative to food security with high nutrition. Let me introduce my team. First, my name is Naura Shafa.
My name is Stella Hanisa Rahma Melinda. My name is Keisha Nur Maulidia Zarka Syafiq.
And our supervisor teacher, Mr. Muhammad Rod. We will start presenting our material. First, the background. In Indonesia, there's a decrease in agricultural land being converted into a residential area. due to population growth, which is increasing every year. We can see at the data and video the dense population in Indonesia. Crop yields has been converted into building, such as in Indonesia, namely in Jakarta, which we can see at the photo. There look a lot of tall building and dense house, making harvesting space less, and the result rice yields decrease. And many people experience malnutrition due to low food intake because there's not enough food available, such as lack of rice. Based on the data we take, we find several comparisons like harvest period. Mustard green harvests faster than rice. Mustard green only need 41 days to be harvested, but rice need 100 days to be harvested. And every 100 gram of rice only contains 0.2 gram of fiber and 25 milligram of calcium. But every 100 gram of mustard green contains 25 gram of fiber and 220 milligram of calcium. From this comparison, we know that mustard green contains more fiber and calcium than rice.
Based on the background, our research problem is how to cultivate vegetable hydroponic as an alternative to food security with high nutrition. The purpose of the research is to find an alternative to food security by hydroponic vegetable cultivation. The plant developed in the research is mustard green. In this research, we use experimental methods. In this case, we give treatment to the mustard green by using hydroponic and soil. Our hypothesis is planting mustard green using hydroponic media profit faster compared to soil. Second is planting mustard green use hydroponic have higher nutrition. There are several steps to planting hydroponic mustard green. One is hydroponic installation. The material we needed is 1. Gutter, 2. Cover gutter, 3. Knitted 0.5 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 4. PVC pipe 0.5 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 5 is aquarium water pump, 6 is tank, number 7 is plastic roof, number 8 is plastic hoop. Number 2 is making nutrition solutions. For the material for hydroponic fertilizer, we using inorganic salts or chemical salts, which can be put in the agricultural soap or chemical salts. Hydroponic nutrition usually use AB mix formulations concept. Number 3 is plant preparation. To start for planting hydroponic mustard greens, we need 1 is seeds, number 2 is net pot, number 3 is nutrition, number 4 is weed for several steps, and then number 5 is rock wall. Number 4 is nursery. Nursery is use rock wall measuring 2.5 centimeter, which is cut along the ground to our good and have same seed are obtained. Rock wall is moistened and give the stereo seed from the factory. We'll leave this period 2 days. After that, we can see the seeds will grow. After 2 days, we can start under sunlight 2 hours until 4 hours, and it's 2 times. It's morning and evening. And after 5 days, start under sunlight 4 until 5 hours in a day, and start with AB mix formulations 400 ppm. Number 5 is plant transfer and storage. After 3 weeks, the seedling can put in the net pot and transfer the parallel pipes and start giving AB mix formulations 400 ppm until 600 ppm. Number 6 is plant maintenance. We pay attention to hydroponic mustard kits. 1 is pH and measurement. Number 2 is pest and disease control. Number 3 is installation control. Number 7 is ready to harvest. After 41 days, we can harvest the hydroponic mustard kits and use.
We always research the development of hydroponic mustard greens every 3 days from seeding to harvest. It can be seen that the hydroponic prefer fresh coat. As the proof, we can look at the growth result below. As the proof, after conducting research, it was seen that the success of planting using hydroponic growing media was higher than using soil. There are many weaknesses of soil media, thus higher percentage of failure compared to hydroponic media, including longer harvest time, easy attacked by disease, easy contaminated by viruses or bacteria, require a lot of water, require more labor, and need a suitable place.
Ed intake or AI for dietary fiber for adults is 20 to 35 grams per day by Francisca in 2004. Previously, according to Southgate in 1975, it was only 16 to 28 grams per day or 1 to 4% of crude intake of British diet. Dietary fiber in American diet is estimated to be around 5 to 8 grams per 100 grams crude fiber by Burkitt in 1972. Based on the research, we can make a conclusion. The first is, planting vegetable hydroponic media have a faster harvest time. The second is, hydroponic mustard greens can be trusted as a raw material for household food security. The third is, hydroponic mustard greens having fiber value. And the last is, hydroponic mustard greens having high-claim nutrition food source. That's our presentation. We apologize for shortcoming. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We close arrows.
Terima kasih. Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation. I have a question regarding hydroponic. Because hydroponic used to be a trend in Malaysia, I think few years back. Somehow, what do you think? How sustained is hydroponic for the next 10 to 15 years? Especially to cater the mass market of food security. Faham ke? Boleh? Alright, okay. So please, bagaimana rasanya ya hidroponik ini boleh kekal lestari for the next 10 to 15 years, terutamanya untuk cater kepada mass produce ataupun mass market out there. Okay, silakan.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I want to answer the questions. To 5 years, okay, 5 years, 10 or 15, okay. Not all have the money to buy some master beans to the market, fast market, or like we can cultivate with other loans or in homes. It's not have a lot of money to be in output money to buy a mustard beans. We can cultivate lands to hydroponic mustard beans and not have lands to be plants hydroponic mustard beans. And we know today have higher buildings in the city of Indonesians. Because of that, we want to other people know about mustard beans, hydroponic mustard beans, to easier people. We can say don't have many money to cultivate hydroponic mustard beans.
Now let's give some time to the judges to evaluate the presentation and their abstract. And last but not least, let's welcome our final presentation for our session today. Please welcome Sekolah Menengah Sains Raja Tun AZLAN SHAH to give their presentation. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I bid to the wise judges, reporter, to the moderator, timekeepers, the technical crews, my teammates and those who are present today. We are students from Sekolah Menengah Sains Raja Tun AZLAN SHAH and I am Nur Shafia Najla binti Mazi Effendi.
And I am Muhammad Zulhaziq bin Kamarul Izwan Shah, and we will be your presenters for today.
We have interviewed professionals in this field. Other than that, we also did a survey and questionnaire and managed to get 100 respondents mainly in the crowd district. Other than that, we also used websites such as Google Scholar and online newspapers.
Now, I will explain our research outcomes that we have gathered from the interview with the two previously mentioned professionals. Food security is important for the well-being and livelihood of the people. And with the recent pandemic, the risk of hunger crisis has been shown to us clearer than ever before. And as such, we are concerned with the Perak Sejahtera 2010. It was initiated by Datuk Seri Sarani Muhammad, the MB of Perak, and was initiated to increase the state's food production and reduce dependence on imports. These are the contents of the action plans that I will explain in further details in the next slides. The first plan is increasing our internal sources. The state's government is doing this by monitoring the needs of the people in Perak, and with the collaboration with the government bodies stated here, they have come up with the idea of Lembah Baka Makanan, where they measure, they monitors the needs of the people of Perak with using the self-sufficient level, SSL. The SSL is used to measure the percentage comparison of production and domestic consumption of certain agricultural commodities. For example, if an agricultural commodities reaches 60% of SSL, it means that the production of the agricultural commodities is enough for 60% of domestic consumption, but another 40% has to be imported. And we want to reduce these imported agricultural commodities. So the government has come up with initiatives to overcome this problem. The first one being district branding, where a district is branded according to their development project, and they will specialize in state brand. For example, in Hulu Perak, they are specialized in aquaculture industry and dairy farm. Next, the Perak District and Land Office. They are responsible for facilitated lands, new areas, and local plans. And with their approval for the state government, they can open up new lands for agriculture and livestock, and farmers can use these lands to increase our food production. Third, upgrading infrastructure and giving interest-free loan assistance for agricultural equipment, such as heavy machinery for farming, which will allow for the farmers to work more efficiently. And lastly, the state's government has also set up 3 targets, which is Sejahtera Pertanian, Sejahtera Perikanan, and Sejahtera Penternakan, to allow for the initiatives to work more effectively. And government bodies also gave out their collaboration in the form of resource, effort, and expertise. And carried out is the 2 million ringgit allocated to rice farmers across Perak. Next, the state's government is also diversifying imported sources by cancelling the approval permit of certain food items such as chicken, cabbage, liquid milk, and yes. And by doing this, they can reduce price increase, allow for the market to operate more freely, and strengthen our food security. This will also allow for the local markets to thrive in the production of said items. Next, giving incentives based on food security. For example, the state's government has given out investment incentives to ruminant farms, for example, cattle farms, to improve their facility and thus increase their production. The state government is also expecting to procure 5,000 to 7,000 cattle per year. And lastly, expanding our international strategic cooperation with more countries. This will allow us to collect more data on food imports, and we can use state data to overcome any possible problem from disruption of food imports in the future. And we can also increase our alternate source countries for food import. Next, to our last two plans, private sector's involvement. The private sectors play a major role in supporting the government intents to combat hunger crisis. And one of these private sectors are the bank, which gave out investment and funding. And the industry players, mainly businesses and cooperation in food production, along with NGOs, gave their supports to the government intends to combat hunger crisis. And lastly, the food chain system in Perak. The Perak State's government has also identified the best food chain in Perak that will ensure there's constant supply of food to the people. And there are 3 departments in the government that are monitoring the food chain to ensure its effectiveness. Now,
Thank you, Zulhazik. Now we'll further elaborate our research outcomes based on the survey and questionnaire with the 160 respondents. So as shown here are the percentages regarding the information of the respondents, and the underlying parts are the highest percentages according to the categories. So in our questionnaire, we had given out questions based on the action plans given by the Perak state government, and surprisingly, our respondents could come up with very satisfactory answers for us. For instance, in ways to diversify imported sources, 43.8% stated that we should invest in communication technologies. Why? So that we could embrace a countrywide digital transformation. Next is reinforcing supply chains was suggested in ways to increase our internal sources, such as improving our facilities and machineries. As Dr. Rashida quoted in our previous interviews, she said that we should first improve our facilities so that we can later offer higher quality facilities to foreign companies that want to work on our food production. Next is that we should identify and unlock the potential for economic development in sectors and regions with low economic development, as in ways to expand private sector's involvement in Perak. Next is applying innovations in food logistics, as in ways to improve food chain system in Perak. For example, we could use smart packaging that has nanotechnology to monitor any microbial or physical changes in food so that we can ensure the safety of the foods. So, lastly, through our findings, I believe that every state government plays their role in monitoring the food security in their states. Now, I will conclude that the Perak state government is committed to pioneering the food sector so that we can lower the dependence on food imports. They are also committed to mobilize existing resources so that we can advance agricultural sectors, and they are also targeted to provide quality, safe, and nutritious food supply, as well as ensure the availability of safe food at affordable prices so everybody can access to food security. Now, through our findings, this will conclude our presentation for today.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the presentation. Okay, just now you did talk about the government's role and the private sector's roles. Yeah. Okay, as a student, what is your role to help out in this situation? Yeah. Thank you.
Our role in helping the government and avoiding this hunger crisis, we can learn more about helping the hunger crisis, helping avoiding the hunger crisis. We can we can also raise awareness by speaking out and to the government and the people about the hunger crisis and ways we can prevent it. I hope.
Not really. Hello. So, good job. I just want you to explain a little bit about the alternative source of food impact that you mentioned. I repeat, alternative source for food import.
We can search for more countries that can import more low cost food, but it's high quality to us by expanding our international collaboration with more countries across the earth with their import and export.